She thought she was in love. But love does not make you forget your own name. Sarah spent 2 years with a man who never raised his voice. He never hit her. He never walked away. And yet somehow he made her disappear, slowly, thought by thought, memory by memory, until she became a ghost living inside her own body. This is the story of a psychological murder, the kind of murder that leaves no bruises, the kind that happens in silence. And it might be happening to someone you know right now. If anything in Sarah's story already feels uncomfortably familiar, take a breath and consider subscribing to this channel. Understanding what happened to you is the first step to getting free.
Sarah met Marcus in a small coffee shop on a rainy Tuesday. He was reading her favorite book. Their eyes met. He smiled. It felt like fate. Within a few weeks, they were inseparable. Marcus was attentive, charming, always knowing exactly what to say. He remembered every little detail she shared about her life. Her friends loved him. Her family said she had finally found the right guy. He texted her good morning every single day. He called her beautiful so often that it felt like oxygen. For the first time in years, Sarah felt truly seen. But little by little, Marcus started asking questions. Small ones at first. Who were you texting? Why did you smile at your phone? Tell me about your day. Every detail. Sarah thought it was cute. She believed he was just deeply interested in her life. She began to share everything freely. Her passwords, her schedule, her fears, her insecurities. Marcus listened with intense focus, taking silent mental notes. Later, he would use her own words as weapons, twisted just a little. Remember when you said you felt ugly? I'm the only one who really sees your beauty. Sarah started to believe she was lucky to have him. The first 6 months felt like a dream wrapped in velvet. Marcus slowly introduced her to his world. He had opinions about her clothes, suggesting she looked better in softer colors. He didn't like her best friend Emma, calling her a bad influence. At first, she defended Emma. When she did, Marcus fell into long silences. The silence was unbearable, so she started turning down Emma's invitations. Marcus smiled more whenever she chose him over everyone else. He rewarded her obedience with affection. She didn't see that she was being trained. She didn't see the invisible cage being built around her soul. She only felt his warmth when she obeyed.
1 year into the relationship, Sarah barely recognized herself. She had stopped posting on social media because Marcus said it made her look desperate for attention. Her wardrobe had completely changed. Now it was full of clothes he approved of. She wore her hair the way he liked it. She laughed at his jokes, even when they weren't funny. Her opinions started to sound like echoes of his. Whenever she disagreed, he didn't argue. He just stared at her with disappointed eyes and said, "I thought you were different." The fear of losing his approval grew louder than her own voice. Marcus never shouted. That was what made everything so confusing. He was always calm, always reasonable. When Sarah tried to express her concerns, he bent them out of shape. Controlling? I only care about you. Your ex didn't even notice when you were suffering. I see everything. He made her feel guilty for even questioning his love. He reminded her of everything he had done for her. The gifts, the time, the patience. After everything I have sacrificed for you, this is how you repay me? Sarah apologized, even when she didn't know what she was apologizing for. She started keeping a journal just to record reality. Her memories no longer felt reliable. Her friends stopped calling as often. Sarah had canceled too many plans. Emma sent one last message. "He's changing you. I miss the real you." She showed the message to Marcus. He read it slowly, and looked up with sad eyes. She's jealous of what we have. Real love makes people uncomfortable. That night, Sarah blocked Emma's number. She sat on the bathroom floor and cried, not knowing why. Marcus knocked gently on the door. "Are you okay, baby?" His voice was soft. She opened the door and fell into his arms. He hugged her tightly and whispered, "It's just us now. That's all we need." Sarah felt relief and terror at the same time. She was completely alone with him, and deep down, she knew she was disappearing. 2 years later, Sarah was a ghost. She had quit her job because Marcus said a coworker looked at her the wrong way. Most days, she stayed at home, waiting for his messages, his calls, his approval. Her family barely heard from her. When her mother called, Marcus stayed nearby, listening. Sarah learned to keep the conversation short and cheerful. "Yes, Mom, I'm happy. Yes, everything is perfect." But her hands shook when she hung up. She had panic attacks in the shower, the only place he couldn't hear her. At 3 a.m, while he slept, she would search on her phone. Am I going crazy? The end came on a Thursday. Sarah found a notebook of Marcus's hidden in his desk drawer. She shouldn't have opened it, but something inside her screamed to do it. Page after page, notes about her. Her weaknesses listed like inventory. Sarah fears abandonment, used sparingly for maximum effect. Isolation 80% complete, monitor contact with family. Subject responds best to intermittent reinforcement. She read the word subject, and something snapped. This was not a diary. It was a manual. She was not her partner. She was his experiment. Every tender moment, every confession she had shared, he had turned all of it into a weapon. Sarah didn't confront him. Now she knew that confronting him would only feed the game. She went to a public library and used a computer there. She called her sister and said 3 words. "Come get me." While Marcus was at work, she packed a single bag. No note. No explanation. Her sister arrived with Emma. They had been waiting for that call for 2 years. Sarah left behind her phone, her laptop, every gift he had ever given her. As they drove away, Sarah saw Marcus's car turning onto the street. Her sister pressed the gas. In the rearview mirror, the house grew smaller and smaller, and finally vanished. Sarah felt like a ghost coming back to life. Her body was shaking, but her mind was finally, brutally clear. She had escaped. But the version of herself from before Marcus, that girl was gone forever. Psychologists have studied coercive control for decades. What they found is terrifying. Long-term emotional manipulation does not just hurt your feelings. It can physically change the brain. Brain scans of people exposed to chronic psychological abuse show damage in areas responsible for self-awareness and decision-making. Sarah's brain was being slowly rewired by Marcus's tactics. This was not just heartbreak, it was neurological injury. Studies also show that people in controlling relationships have dramatically higher rates of depression, anxiety, and symptoms similar to post-traumatic stress. Many survivors report the same thing. They did not realize they were being abused because there were no bruises. Experts call this pattern coercive control. It often appears in domestic abuse cases, even when there has never been a single slap. It works through isolation, monitoring, degradation, and exploitation, exactly what Marcus used on Sarah. Social psychology has seen this pattern before. Decades ago, researchers studying prisoners of war documented how people were broken down without obvious physical torture. They described a set of methods: isolation, controlling perception, inducing weakness, threats, occasional small rewards, shows of power, constant humiliation, and endless trivial demands. Sound familiar? Marcus checked almost every box. The most disturbing part is this: most victims do not recognize the abuse until their identity is already deeply eroded. By the time they notice something is wrong, they have begun to disappear from their own lives. What Marcus did to Sarah has a name: coercive control. He combined several tactics of dark psychology, as calculated as they were devastating. First, psychological manipulation. He made Sarah doubt her own reality. He denied her experiences. He rewrote their shared history. Every time she questioned him, he flipped the script and turned her into the problem. Second, isolation. By slowly cutting her off from friends, family, and support, he became her only source of validation and her only version of truth. Third, intermittent reinforcement. He wasn't cruel all the time. He alternated coldness with affection, rejection with sudden tenderness. Her brain became addicted to his approval. The same mechanism that keeps people hooked on gambling kept her hooked on him. This created a trauma bond. Cycles of tension and relief kept Sarah in a state of hypervigilance and dependency. She was always waiting for the next small sign that he still loved her. At the core of his behavior was quiet narcissism. Marcus didn't see Sarah as a person. He saw her as an extension of himself, something to be controlled and shaped. The notebook exposed his conscious cruelty. This wasn't accidental toxicity. It was premeditated psychological warfare. He studied her vulnerabilities and exploited them systematically. People like Marcus exist. They blend into society. They look charming, intelligent, caring. But behind the mask, there is an emptiness that feeds on control. So, what can you take from Sarah's nightmare? 3 crucial lessons. First, trust your intuition. If you feel crazy in a relationship, you are probably not crazy. You are being manipulated. Your instincts are trying to save you. Second, isolation is the loudest red flag. Anyone who tries to cut you off from your support system is not protecting you. They are building a prison. Healthy love expands your world. Toxic love shrinks it. Third, document and speak. Write things down. Save messages. Tell someone you trust what is happening. Abusers thrive in secrecy. Breaking the silence is the first crack in their control. Sarah survived because one day she chose to see the truth and walk out of the house that was erasing her. You can too. Recognize the patterns, name the abuse, and leave before you become a ghost. If Sarah's story opened your eyes, do 3 things right now. First, subscribe to this channel. We expose toxic patterns that hide in plain sight. Second, share your experience in the comments. Your truth might be exactly what someone else needs to hear tonight. Third, watch the next video. She thought he was protecting her until she found his secret files. Click now. Do not let another ghost story go untold.